Because remember that Audi? A few videos back, I think it was a couple of videos back, I did a cam belt on an Audi. That was gonna be my new daily, but I crashed it. Well, my neighbor crashed into me just like 100 yards from my house. So yeah, it got totaled. Believe it or not, here's some pictures of the incident and maybe a little video.
So the damage, we got both airbags deployed. That's not really on center line anymore. Look at that, I didn't know these had like a spare battery here for probably for the alarm. There's DCU for the engine. So yeah, it's not looking good for the future of this car. As for mine, well, I hate to say it, but I think this is the end. I guess you could change the front clip, but you know, you got all the airbags blown, you got the windshield, I don't know. And again, both airbags. So yeah, the Audi is gone, which is a shame. You got $1,500 off of the insurance, which, you know, kind of gets me nowhere. But I took half of it and I bought this exhaust system for the 945. So that's what we're gonna be installing today. AL Racing, it's a Swedish company, 3-inch exhaust, stainless, well, kind of stainless. We'll get into that. And yeah, hopefully this will perform a little bit better than the one that I have, which is also stainless, but only from the catalyst back. So everything from the front to the catalyst is an old KL Racing 3-inch system, but non-stainless. So it kind of just fell apart. The rest of it's gone. I was thinking a lot like, okay, I'm gonna build it myself and I'm gonna buy a really high-end system. And then I just randomly went on the KL Racing's website and I saw this. All right, so this is kind of how it looked like when I went to pick it up. I actually picked it up in store. So the downpipe was laying on top of the system here. And you remember, I was not expecting much for $700. I was like, okay, it's probably not gonna be very good at all, but you know, it's a shit box, so I don't really care. As long as it kind of fits and gets me through MOT, I'll be just delightfully pleased. All right, so I go to pick it up and I see this downpipe. I'm like, whoa, that's not bad. It's bent quite properly. You know, there's no kinks in it. Looks really, really good. You know, no restrictions, nice welds. I can't complain. However, you know, I said earlier, it's not 100% stainless. You know, you got a few things like the fasteners, just regular steel. The welds are also slightly magnetic, so I guess they are not stainless either. And you know, like a few other things here. So anyway, I was pretty excited to see the rest of the system. So, you know, I opened up the box and this is what I see. And so far, so good. The quality continues, you know, nice, pretty good bends. Not perfect, but it's very much good enough. We got a lot of, yeah, there's a lot of cut material in here. We're gonna have to blow that out or something. The semi-stainlessness continues. I don't know if all the catalytic converters are not non-stainless. I'm not sure, but you know, this is definitely not a stainless catalytic converter. Is that not possible to have? I don't know. I'm not an exhaust guy. I don't know, but it's not stainless anyway. And the same thing goes over here. These not, brackets not. The clamp here for the muffler is stainless, except for these things. And the, you know, the hardware as well. Maybe you want to get some stainless hardware because this is kind of annoying when that gets all rusted up. But overall, for $700, you know, I'm very pleased. You even get the clamps. However, they are very much not stainless, but they are pretty heavy duty though. So maybe this will work good. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this, but seems kind of made in the same factory. But hopefully that'll do a good job. They look a little bit sturdier than the classic clamps that you get, and you don't risk hurting the flange because it's actually flat and not round. So I like that. We'll see how it works. And then we got the muffler itself. It's just a single muffler system, so we'll see how this one sounds. I'm a little bit worried about the noise level. I went with the straight tip, no fancy pantsy chrome exhaust or anything like that. So yeah, it's basically pretty much straight piped. So yeah, we'll just put this back Maybe we should put this condom on as well. Is that a manual? What is this? That's nothing. Here's the manual. Yeah, read that later. Anyway, that's what you get. Let's put it on the car. Let's get the old one off. All right, so we got to undo 3 bolts that holds the downpipe, and then we got the 2 oxygen sensors. So let's just start with the oxygen sensors. I got this Innovate MTXL connected here for a little bit more control. Is that a 22? What the hell? Let's see if we can get that without completely f***ing it up. There we go. Yeah, I wish I had a cool turbo and manifold to put on here while I'm doing this, but fortunately no. I do have plans for it though. All right, so let's get these 3 bolts off. These are not original, as you can tell, because they're not self-locking, which they should be, because these come undone all the time, which is very annoying. All right, so now let's take off the oxygen sensor on the bottom, and I know I can't do that with this stupid tool. I'm just gonna have to use these. You might not have the same, I mean, these can be really stuck on here. I'm just lucky I just changed that. And before that, you know, I had the engine out pretty recently, so. But the first time I took it off in 2017, I can tell you it was really stuck on there when it was on the original downpipe, because no one had removed that. Drop the wire down so it can follow along so you don't twist up the wire. Oh, something just hit me. We're gonna have to weld a bung into this exhaust, the new exhaust. All right, last bolt. There's a lot of oil back here. That's not good. Where's that coming from? Huh, I don't want to know. Be sure to put the bolts where Volvo intended on the intercooler. Just gonna tighten up the top one here again a little bit. We want to remove it from the back first. But I'm probably just gonna cut everything off. I'm not gonna unbolt it because that'll just be annoyingly much work. All right. Okay, so that's that settled. Let's dive underneath and have a look. All right, so let's take a little look at the exhaust here. Here's the rear muffler, and scooch on over in here. You can see goes over the rear axle right there, and then forwards. It comes down right there, goes into that muffler right there. Goes along, and here is where, you know, trouble happens. Here we have the catalytic converter, and here we have a bunch of fixes. This is my latest MOT fix right there, very pretty. And as you can see, the non-stainless downpipe is about to give in completely. So yeah, it's about due for a new exhaust here. But I'm just gonna, oh shit, I do not have those right there. Well, we're just gonna have to use the ones we have and then replace those in the morning. Oh yeah, it's Sunday tomorrow. Well, I'll just do that in a week. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down. And yeah, all right, here we go. Maybe somewhere right there. Cue the music. Bruh. Bruh. Here's the old downpipe. And yeah, it's seen better days. What happened here? I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, or maybe I crashed it at once and kind of squished the exhaust. I'm actually gonna go ahead and read the manual for the MTXL first and see exactly where they would like this on the pipe here. So let me do that and I'll come back. It's supposed to be welded 24 inches after the exhaust on a turbo application. So that's 60 centimeters in my world. So that's That's pretty far down. That is pretty far down. I have no idea how we're supposed to do that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this off right here and put it back on the car, and we'll see where we can place the sensor according to the instructions. Whoops. Ah, oh well. All right, so maybe now you can see the problem. Where are we gonna put a sensor between 9 and 3 o'clock? So between here and here. Yes, I might be able to put it like right here, pointing like so, but I don't think I can get it any better than that. Let's make a little mark, because I mean, what am I gonna do? It's either that or putting it right there, like we have on the, I don't know if that matters. I could place it in here. How far would that be? How far away are we here? Roughly. It's gonna be about 120. Oh boy. The instructions say 24 inches, but I cannot fit it at 24 inches. So I'm wondering, is it better to have it here or have it too close? I gotta Google. Well, as you all know, I am not a professional, okay? I honestly don't know, but it seems like for most part, you know, it's forums, you know, it's hard. But the manual says 24 inches for turbo, period. It says if it doesn't have a turbo, it should be at least 24 inches, but it has to be pre-cat. So I'm thinking, well, we're just gonna run with this and see what happens. It doesn't really matter because it just goes to the gauge, but I'm thinking if I wanna go and pull this thing in the bench, maybe that will become a problem. But I guess maybe we'll deal with that when we get there. We gotta take these off because they're pointing the wrong way. Since this thing is like brand new, it still has a lot of paste on it, so I'm not gonna be bothered with putting more paste on there. Make sure you put them all on, because you won't be able to put them on if you pull one down. Let's put the third one on. This is not making any sense. All right, so here's the problem. You see that? The nut right there, it hits the pipe before I can get it on properly. That's why nothing is fitting on here. So you're gonna have to tighten these and then kind of mark everything out. We can't just put them on a little bit. You need to kind of pull them in as well. So I got these fitted. As you can see, the problem that we had was that the nut was too far out, which was touching the downpipe, and then the flange wouldn't fit properly. Therefore, we couldn't get that fitting in down there. But, so you gotta tighten all these three in a little bit on each one, and then it'll fit up just nicely. So no problem, that thing fits pretty good down there. And yeah, tightening these is a nightmare, because, you know, you'll just hit everything. So, a tip, get a 1/2 inch and cut it off, and that'll just work super nice. All right, so this is how this turned out. You want to use the straight piece, not the one with the little bend in it. I don't know if that's because this is an M90 gearbox and maybe the other one is for M47, I'm not sure, but the straight one fits really nicely. Everything is just loosely tightened now, so we can continue on with the rest of the exhaust, and then when everything's in place, we'll just tighten everything up. So, yeah, let's move on to the catalytic converter. An important thing to remember when putting this particular exhaust on is that you gotta put the flanges, or the clamps on first, because you won't be able to fit them when everything is in place.
And then I always like a little paste on here, not so much to fix for leaks, but it helps if you want to take it off at some point. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on the inside here. Huh. This is going way too smooth. So far, so good. Nice. You know, the only thing you gotta think about here is, you know, the tailpipe, because it's kind of cut at an angle. You don't really want the angle upside down, do you? So gotta make sure that's down. And then you have that way or that way. Oh boy, this is gonna be lovely. Not really sure what I'm doing here, but it looks good. That looks nice. Should work. All right, please don't be too loud. Loud is fine, just don't be obnoxious, you know?